Moving through the wilderness without being noticed is a skill that has existed for thousands of years. Hunters, scouts, and soldiers have relied on it long before modern technology existed. During wartime patrols, particularly in the harsh environments of the 20th century, soldiers quickly learned that noise, movement, and careless habits could reveal their position long before anyone actually saw them. The ability to move undetected in the wild is not about speed or strength. It's really about patience, awareness, and discipline. Those who mastered these skills could travel through forests, hills, and fields without drawing attention. And, well, those who ignored them often found themselves exposed. One of the first lessons in silent movement is controlling your pace. Experienced scouts slowed their pace dramatically. Instead of walking normally, they shortened their steps and placed each foot carefully on the ground. Every step was deliberate. If the ground ahead looked noisy, such as dry leaves or brittle sticks, they adjusted their path slightly to avoid stepping directly on them. Equally important is learning how to place your feet properly. Rather than placing the entire foot down at once, many skilled outdoorsmen use a rolling step. The outer edge or ball of the foot touches the ground first, allowing you to test the surface before shifting full weight onto it. If the ground begins to crack or shift, you can adjust instantly without making a loud sound. This small technique prevents sudden snaps from sticks or hidden debris. Over time, this careful stepping becomes a natural rhythm that allows movement without unnecessary noise. Another critical factor is using natural cover while moving. Open ground exposes movement easily, even at long distances. The human eye naturally detects motion, especially against uniform backgrounds like open fields or clear slopes. By staying close to these natural features, a person becomes far less noticeable. Even if someone is scanning the area, movement near natural cover blends more easily into the environment. Avoiding silhouettes is another essential rule. When a person walks along the top of a ridge or hill, their entire outline becomes visible against the sky. This effect, called skylining, makes detection extremely easy, even from far away. Instead of moving along the very top of high ground, skilled outdoorsmen stayed slightly below the crest of the hill. This position allowed them to move while remaining hidden from distant observation. This small adjustment can dramatically reduce visibility. Controlling body movement is just as important as controlling footsteps. Large, sudden movements draw attention immediately. The human brain is wired to detect quick motion because it often signals danger. When moving through the wild, smooth and steady movement is far less noticeable. Slow shifts in position blend into the environment more naturally than sudden gestures or abrupt turns. Even small actions, such as raising binoculars or turning the head, should be done slowly and deliberately. Stillness can be just as powerful as movement. Often, the best way to avoid detection is to stop completely. When people pause and remain motionless, they become surprisingly difficult to spot, especially in natural surroundings. If you suspect someone may be nearby, freezing in place allows the environment to settle. Birds, insects and other wildlife often return to normal behavior when movement stops, which can further mask your presence. Patience becomes a powerful tool in these moments. Another important habit is paying attention to sound discipline. Loose equipment, metal objects or items stored carelessly can create noise during movement. Soldiers and experienced outdoorsmen often secured their gear tightly so that nothing rattled or shifted while walking. Even clothing can produce sound if it brushes loudly against branches or dry vegetation. Choosing quiet fabrics and keeping gear organized reduces these risks. Before moving through quiet terrain, experienced individuals often paused briefly to listen. This moment of stillness helped identify distant sounds such as footsteps, voices, or wildlife movement. Listening first prevented accidental encounters. Wind and environmental noise can also work in your favor. When the wind moves through trees or grass, it creates natural background noise. Moving during these moments helps mask the sound of footsteps. Rainfall, flowing water, and rustling leaves also provide natural sound cover. Skilled scouts sometimes timed their movement to coincide with these environmental sounds. The wilderness itself becomes an ally when used correctly. Awareness of lighting conditions is another overlooked factor. Bright sunlight creates strong contrast and shadows, which can highlight movement. In contrast, softer light during early morning or late evening often makes movement less noticeable. Shadows cast by trees, rocks, and terrain features can also provide natural concealment if used properly. Moving through shaded areas rather than bright open spaces greatly reduces visibility. Perhaps the most important element in moving undetected is constant observation. Those who travel quietly through the wilderness are always studying their surroundings. They notice changes in terrain, potential cover, animal behavior, and subtle sounds in the distance. This awareness allows them to adjust their path before problems appear. Rather than forcing movement through difficult areas, they adapt to the landscape and choose routes that naturally conceal them. Moving undetected in the wild is not a trick or a shortcut. It is a combination of patience, careful movement, and respect for the environment. Those who learn these habits become far more aware of the world around them. And in the wilderness, awareness is often the greatest advantage of all. If you enjoy learning timeless outdoor skills, survival knowledge, and the practical fieldcraft developed through real-world experience, be sure to subscribe to the channel and share this video with someone who appreciates the value of old-school wilderness wisdom.